The Podcast Hall of Fame is coming back. The latest from Podnews.net with Podpage. Build a beautiful podcast website in 5 minutes. The Podcast Hall of Fame is coming back, presented by Libsyn. The awards recognise those that have made a difference to podcasting. The ceremony will be held at Podcast Movement Evolutions in Los Angeles on March the 25th. Though open to everyone, it last took place in 2018. The current members, who are all beautiful people, will be involved in choosing this year's inductees. 8 were announced in 2018 and would expect a similar number this year. Riverside has released its first Android app and an upgrade for their iOS app, allowing anyone, whatever device they use, to record. The Benno Collective have published their final newsletter for now. Launched in 2016, they've published 150 newsletters containing podcast criticism and thoughtful takes on the industry. They end by saying there can never be too many podcasts. We'll miss them. Here's what we need to do in 2022, writes Dan Granger of Oxford Road, with ideas to expand and optimise the podcast advertising industry. The article includes suggestions for better standards and tools. The Australian podcast ranker for December 2021 was released. Casefile remains number 1. ARN's iHeart Podcast Network is comfortably in the lead for publishers for the 20th consecutive time. Veritonic is to host the first annual Audio Intelligence Summit, featuring leaders from brands, publishers and agencies to discuss their audio and podcast advertising strategies. It'll be held in New York. Audia has announced it'll be working with Podcast One to enhance 4 of their podcasts on the Vodacast platform, which adds supplemental content like photographs, links and more to podcasts. And from Signal Hill Insights, Jeff Vidler offers information on how podcasting can manage their ad revenue boom and move towards more scalable solutions. And thank you to Audio Boom, who have increased their support and become a gold supporter. I worked for them once in 2010, and the company now allows you to host, distribute and monetize your audio, and reported a good set of results earlier this week. And in podcast news, Wrongful Conviction this week talks to Stephanie Spurgeon, a Florida woman who spent 9 years in prison despite maintaining her innocence after being convicted of manslaughter in the death of a baby girl. Great Minds, a new series from SBS, lets you explore different meditation styles practiced by different cultures. You're invited to relax, take a break and listen in. If you think there are too many podcasts in the world, you've not looked at books lately. Turn Up for the Books is a new 10-part podcast from BBC Arts. The panel guides listeners seamlessly through the sometimes daunting world of book recommendations. And Travel That Matters has returned for Season 2, exploring many of the world's most exceptional and meaningful travel experiences through the eyes of fascinating people who make them possible. The first episode has Olympic gold medalist skier Tommy Moe. This podcast is brought to you by Podpage. They run podcast websites. They're automated. They've got follow links in them. They've got Apple smart banners, so people using those types of phones can press one button to subscribe. They've got good-looking links for sponsors. They've got a list of your reviews. They've got automated episode pages and automated media players. They're automatic, built for sharing. So you can get started with Podpage for free and grab your own website at podpage.com/podnews. And that's the latest from our newsletter. For all the links, we're at podnews.net.